Hello. Repurposing tools. You know how you used to years ago get those multi-bladed screwdrivers, and you open the cap up, pull a blade out, whatever you needed. They had this type of catch on them. You ever come across them? You come across the odd machine that needs a slotted or a flathead. One of the world's first screwdrivers, I guess, right? A lot of these machines, boom, boom, because I got to get that off so I can get the screw underneath. I repurpose, reuse, redo whatever until the blade or tool is totally useless. Fits in your drill just perfect. It has those two little ridges so it will bite. They're always fun to use. It's slotted, would like to slip off, right? Like that. Only because it was a little harder, wasn't it? It was in tighter. They don't get used much. You do come across the older vacuums that are of the age bracket, right? To show, holy, that one had the wires cooked right off of it. Well, that's cool. Oh, it stinks too. But anyways, I need to get at the screw that is underneath, which luckily is not a flathead. But yeah, it's got the two little groovies on it, right? It will grip your teeth. Some of them are just a smooth shaft, right? They don't work as well. A little higher speed. Boom. Come on. You know you want out of there. Sometimes you just got to be persuaded. It's the bearing right here. This bearing needs more persuasion. Yeah. There we go. The bearing didn't want to let go of the center part. Nice chunk of clean cast. One beautiful copper motor. It's got a little bit of insulated on it, but that's fine. There's a little sleeve on that. Well, this one's got a piece of steel on that has to come off. So this one isn't as old as I thought it would be. Got that little, I think it's a noise canceling Dewey, a little capacitor. Because when I grew up, anytime Mom did the vacuuming, if I was watching TV, it would interfere with the TV. Any small electrical device. The vacuum, the blender, the hair dryer, Dad's electric shaver. All of those things back in the 60s and 70s used to interfere with the their motors would interfere with radio waves. Oh, come back here. That's a clean piece of brass because it's got a piece of copper in it. It doesn't matter. But yeah, just underneath that little sleeve, doesn't matter which way you pull it off, you'll see the brass connection right there. Cut the wire off. Cut the little brass piece off in the brass bucket. You can see, isn't that pretty? Copper wire. This one's got a little bit of insulate on it. That insulation will actually pull right off. See? Now it's clean. Still number 2. Heavy, but beautiful, right? The one we get after later. Now I want to do the rest of it. I need that blade again. Little gear. Boom. What did I do with that blade? I'd call it a blade. It's slotted screwdriver. It works, right? Just little more pressure. You don't do these in high speed because they'll fall right. Whoop. Blade came loose. Because you never hang on to them, right? Boom. Nice piece of steel. Shred bucket. Getting closer. Cast aluminum in there. There'll be 2 turbos in this one. So I'm thinking this vacuum might have came out of an old Kenmore maybe. I don't think it's a shop vac vacuum. But we'll find out in a sec. It should have 2 turbos in it. Can you see that all right? Are we looking? How are we looking? All right? I'm trying not to block your view. Just have to get under the lip. Wiggle it off. There's the cover. That's what I mean by turbo. Now you see the way it's going. It curves that way. So that's the way it'll be unwound. I just turn them that way. See, now the nut's loose. Always follow the turbo. Boom. That is sheet aluminum. Okay, I'll rip the rest of it apart. I don't know how well you can see from here. Can you see all right? Hopefully. What did I do with my screwdriver? Oh, there it is. This is tin. Oh, there's a nice piece of aluminum. Extruded aluminum. Looks like a little spool. This is tin. What it's attached to is sheet aluminum. It's the other turbo on this one. That's how they make a cheaper turbo. But I'd take those fins off because they are sheet aluminum. One stuck to the steel. That's a cheaper way of making this. Making the second turbo or the first turbo, whatever you want to call it. Come on. There, see? So that is tin in the bucket. I will take all these off, but I can now pop it off the rotor. So rotor will be processed later. This one might be a little harder to do. Oh yeah, I can see through them. So he goes in the rotor bucket for later processing. So now I just peel these guys off. Look at me when I talk to you. I just peel them off. Waste not, want not, right? I know none of you guys take vacuums apart, so you might never ever see this part. That's all sheet aluminum. Another piece of tin. We have another turbo rolling around in there. We got to open them up. Plus it's cast. So I have to try and get him apart. I put him in here just to hold him. But otherwise I have no way of holding it. And little flat screwdriver right on the edge of the cast part. Come on. You know you want to open. It's a little tricky. I'm fighting the bench vise too, but there's no other way I could figure out how to open these properly. To hold them properly. See? Boom. Now there's another piece of tin for that turbo. Here's the other sheet aluminum turbo. So there was 2, 3, 4 turbos in this one. This one pops off the same way I did the other one. It's just little aluminum rivets, just 4 of them. They don't hold as well as they predict. One more. Get a big hole in the bottom. Boom. Now you got clean cast aluminum. There's a little rubber ring in there. That comes out. Clean. And that's shred steel. So I got quite a bit out of that one, right? What did we get for our troubles? We got 2 turbos. Part of a 3rd turbo. Oh, there's another piece. Part of a 4th turbo, which is this itself. And it all works together. We got a little piece of aluminum. I do believe that's aluminum too. The rest of this. So that's all of our aluminum. Extruded, sheet, and cat. 3 types. Plus I still have to take these guys apart. There'll be a little strip of copper in there, like a little strand that attaches this to the plug. And then that's generally brass on the inside, because like this here. Boom. You gotta make sure you take them apart because they have a steel spring inside of them, and that'll screw up your clean brass. So this will go in the cast bucket. 1 bucket there. This one here, starting. My sheet bucket, I'm going to have to start another one because I got it all mixed up with extruded sheet and regular aluminum. Extruded sheet, cast. So I have to start another bucket. That means I have to go outside, dig up my buckets, but that's what I got out of that vacuum. And that's just the aluminum. You saw the copper motor that came out of it. And the rotor I threw in the rotor bucket just in case you're wondering where it went because you weren't watching. Over here. 1 bucket there, 1 bucket there. It's just rotors. They will get worked on. Oh look, I'm throwing aluminum away. Must have too much money, it's throwing it away. So I just thought I'd give you a little quick update on hanging on to your old repurposed screwdriver bits. Just like I do with screwdrivers. There's an old Robertson. Yeah. Every once I use them for a punch. Works great. A lot of times, after a while, the end gets a little round. Well, you hit it with the grinder or put it on the bench grinder and flatten it out. It becomes a great punch. He has been replaced because this is what he used to look like. Yeah. Robertson number 2. This one actually looks bent already. See, I'm very abusive to my tools. I don't know enough to quit using them as chisels. Right? A lot of these I've gotten out of the scrap. Not him, my wife bought him. This was scrap. These guys are scrap. There's nothing wrong with them. They work great for workshop tools. This, I never understood. I don't have a real use for a mini guy like that, but he was scrap. Majority of those are scrap. I've gotten some of these, like some of them are like brand new. These 2 green guys belong together. I don't know why they're on separate hooks. But yeah, a lot of them came from the scrap. Except those blue pry bars. My wife had purchased those for me. Wood chisels, scrap. That big long chisel, scrap. Someone threw that out. This was given to me. It's a tool you don't use too much. Whoever does HVAC knows exactly what it is. It's a crimping tool. it gets used very well. You know how when you put stovepipes together or any HVAC, there's a crimped side. Sometimes you have to cut it, make it. This will make your crimp. An HVAC guy gave this to me only because one of his buddies played a prank on him and stuck it in a bucket of silicone. I asked him where I could pick one up. Those are not cheap tools. He said, here, I got one for you. If you can clean it, you can use it. Okay. That was a challenge. And I made a mistake. I didn't take a picture of it before I took it apart. These go together one way only, because there's 5 individual blades in there. I still don't think I have it together right, but it does work. I'm going to have to check out his one of these days. Made in the USA. It is a good quality tool. I will not knock the tool. It's just when I took it apart, I wasn't paying attention. I should have took a picture. I generally do that. Take a picture of something that I'm going to rip apart that I'm going to put back together. That way you can look at the picture and go, oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. And then you smack yourself in the head and smarten up and do it right. Not this guy. I bought him. He's a miniature version of Canadian Treasure Hunter uses. Oh, do these things ever work nice. They're not cheap. It's a Klein tool. This one I found in... Oh, great. Just lost the chisel. This one I found on the side of the road. He's the same brand. About 30 years ago. Used to work for a company called... Well, they're called Napa now, but it was called UAP back then. Laying on the highway. Obviously, some construction guy, a lot of them do that. They'll leave the tools on their tailgate. Oh, gotta run into town real quick and get something, and they leave the tailgate open. The tool's still hanging there. Well, it ends up on the road. I've gotten hammers that way too. I've got many of tools. These two guys here, Metric and Imperial, Allen keys. I was unloading scrap. I looked down. Boom, they were both laying there in the dirt. Thank you very much. I told him when I was leaving. He says, I don't care. Take it. Okay, I have to try and rescue him. He's down there. He's going to fall behind my bench. I don't have a backsplash on this bench. I have to make one of these days. Because I'm losing tools back here, and then I got to dig them up from behind, underneath. Come here. There we go. You just lay on top. But that's what I mean. You find a tool, pick it up. There's some tools I don't really keep, like ratchets and that. Oh. That hammer. Yeah. See, I just knocked something else down. It's a pin for something. It's missing its pins. I use it as a punch. I don't remember where I had it. Well, if I ain't got room, I put it up top. Yeah, that radio has to go somewhere. It's a TV combo radio, flashlight, and all that crap. I just figured it was nostalgic. Hang on to it because it is an old tube TV. So, I'm getting off topic, right? But anyways, repurpose old tools, right? Okay. I'm going to call this one quits. I'm going in for lunch. It's 11:30. By the time I get this uploaded on the TV, or the TV. My computer is my TV, so I don't watch TV much except for the news. And then after lunch, I got to bring firewood in. I was hoping you guys were going to help with that, but apparently you don't feel like it. Because, oh baby, it's cold outside. It's barely freezing now. Like at the freezing mark. I got up, it was what? I think 14 Fahrenheit. And it's a southeast wind, so does that mean we're getting rain? Or snow? Okay. Have fun. This will be a second video for me today. No, the first one did not roll over into the second. So that's what I'm doing. See my wood pile? That's why I gotta go get more. That isn't gonna do the rest of today and tomorrow. So it's a lot warmer on this side of the garage. Closer to the heat. Lots of heat. The fan's doing its job. That was scrap. That stove was scrap. I think it might be this one's having trouble keeping up. Maybe because I don't have the fan behind it. I don't know. I'm going to move him yet back to the wall. The fan will be back there then. Maybe that'll help. If that doesn't change it, this guy's getting hooked back up and I don't know what I'll do with him. But I still have all my pipes, so I can hook him back up. It only, you can see how the line was on the wall there. Because I've had him for a while now. Last winter too, so. Yeah, this is all processed already. But I'm running out of space. I need bigger buckets. See? Overflowing. That's the problem with circuits, but anyways, the cast aluminum's overflowing into that bucket. My extruded and sheets overflowing. Back there is 2 buckets of copper. They're overflowing. So I have to do something. Maybe one of these garbage cans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one's outside. I have 7. Actually 8. It's holding a tarp tent frame. It's all complete. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I have another one up here that's just a canopy frame. We used it at the old place. It's where the wife parked with her brand new vehicles. The birds were sitting in the trees pooping all over her car, so the canopy's there. It's just a canopy. It's not a complete enclosure, but it's not heavy duty enough frame to leave up all winter long. So unless I change it, that's my plan. I have the other one in the horse trailer shed. So man, oh man, I got a lot of goodies up there that I gotta go through. Extra tarps, spare antenna. I'm gonna have to grab a couple of those because this ground is very cold to walk on in shoes. I got heat in the garage, but it doesn't warm up the cement floor. And it's cold on the feet afterwards, so. Okay. I'm ranting. Have a nice day.